Right, here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Is it all good? Let's have a look.
Actually,
It's solid, mate. It's solid.
solid, yeah. All good in the hood.
All good in the hood.
Everything up and running.
Let's rock and roll.
Let's rock and roll. Well, welcome everybody to our first episode of Sofa Sessions.
Sofa session.
Yeah, man, super excited to be doing this because we've got a lot to share.
Absolutely.
Don't we, Oski? We've got a lot to share. We've been in this game for a decent amount of time now.
Some time.
Sometime.
What's it been now?
It's been well, a little bit longer for you, but on average, just over 15 years. We've been coaching people, fitness, health, fat loss, muscle building, and yeah, I think something like this is a long time coming
Yeah, mate.
because we have a lot of experience. We've worked with hundreds, if not over 1,000 different clients by now, helping people lose weight, build muscle, and ultimately create healthy lifestyles for themselves. We've seen people's challenges. We know what busy individuals who have good careers, who have families, we know what they go through. We know the pains that they go through, the struggles that they go through. But most of all, because we've done it so many times for so many people, we've been doing it for a decent amount of time now. I don't think anybody can argue that
No.
15 years worth of experience is a good amount of time.
Absolutely. And I think also to add to that is that we've gone through different phases of our life, right? You know, pre-marriage, pre-kids, what fitness looks like before that when there's less responsibilities to what it looks like now. So you kind of get a good feel for the phases of life because circumstances are constantly changing. But nevertheless, you know, you still have to prioritize yourself, even if that time is limited. But you learn to become more efficient, and yeah,
yeah. And I think the helpful thing for everybody out there who's listening is collectively through our own experiences, but also having worked and coached so many people through it, we know how to do it. Like we know how you can still get in shape when life is happening. Absolutely. When career is stressful, when kids are running riot, when personal things are going on. We've done it for ourselves. You've done it for so many people. So we actually know how to do it. And that's why we want to do this, so that we can share those bits of knowledge that we have. And hopefully people can start implementing it for themselves.
absolutely, and yeah, just have a conversation like we do on a day-to-day basis, talking about our clients, talking about our personal challenges, you know, and how to navigate, you know, certain situations, but still headstrong and still kind of working through it.
Yeah, and I think another really important aspect of the way that we do things, again going back to our personal experiences, is the variety of our kind of career path in terms of being personal trainers, fitness coaches, nutrition coaches. Because we've done a few different things. You know, it's not like we just started doing online coaching and that's the only experience I've had. You know, before I even started in the fitness industry, Oscar, you know, you'd already been a PT for 5 years.
Yeah.
You know, we were both working in the city in Canary Wharf in London. We were personal trainers, in-person trainers for a long time before we jumped into online. Not only that, but we had we owned a boot camp, which is awesome.
It was so much fun.
So much fun. We were doing in-person training, like one-to-one training. We were doing boot camps at the same time. Again, training a different style of person, in a more family setting. And then we moved to online, you know, which
was a very interesting transition.
Huge transition, and it's its own thing. It's its own way of coaching people.
Absolutely.
So through all of those experiences that we've had, we had such a great view of looking at different people's experiences, and we can use all of those experiences to help people in the best way.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I just want to add to that, like how what do you feel has been the biggest change from like in-person personal training to going into an online setting and delivering a program like we do now? Like, where do you see the value in the online, and what is the biggest difference?
Yeah, it's a good question. And I think the first thing kind of easily is the nutrition. Easily, like that's just kind of easily just to kind of put that as thin air straight away, because personal training is so focused on the workout. And even as trainers, we were into nutrition big time, but the client is there for the workout. They come to train.
They value the workout.
They value the workout, but also they're there for the workout. That's what that 45 minutes or an hour is all about. You might speak about nutrition. Maybe you might send them a plan, if they want one here and there, but it's not on the same level of detail as what we do in the online game. Because the nutrition is so much more involved in online coaching, that has meant that we have ourselves done more research, got more qualification, got better at nutrition itself. So nutrition, I think, is the first one. Easily.
I think to add to that, I would also put together something that was very new, obviously in the transition. Is definitely mindset and habit forming. Because like you say, the in-person training, in person or whatever, the client would always value the workout, the exercise. That is it. But in the online, it's everything that's outside of the workout. So how do you confront certain obstacles, challenges? How do you navigate certain circumstances? The mindset. Changing your mindset, your ideas to kind of going to success, and how to form habits and habits that actually stick long term. And that's where I spend a lot of the work with my clients is definitely nutrition, huge, mindset and habit forming. It all comes into play.
100%. And those habits are really what set people up for the long-term success ultimately. But just to add to that as well, another bonus that online gives is helping away from the workout. So it's the extra layer of support, I think, that people get, the extra layer of accountability with personal training or group training, whatever it is. It's all the accountability is really focused around the workout. So yeah, you can get some good consistency with your training, but with online, you can provide accountability in every area. So the training, but then also the food, like you said, the habits, hydration, sleep, like all the other important aspects of building a healthy lifestyle, losing body fat, getting in shape. You can support people in every area and hold people accountable in every area, not just the training. Like in person, it's a bit more it's more one-dimensional.
It is one-dimensional.
One-on-one coaching, you can really hit every aspect. That's what I would say. Another bonus that I do think that we have had because of the amount of in-person training that we have done in the past is transferring the exercise portion of that into online coaching, because we still know how to effectively coach people in the exercise area as well. I think that's really important, making sure that people are still doing things correctly, form, etc. Range of motion, muscle mind connection, all that kind of stuff.
I mean, just sorry to interrupt that. Just even just in terms of like just having a conversation with somebody and how they explain to me how they feel or just the recovery and whatnot, I know exactly if they're doing their exercise wrong or right, based on just the conversation without even having to see them. And then obviously, when we ask for technique videos and things like that, you can correct it that manner. But like you say, we've managed to bring the exercise part into the program in an online space and still make it work and effective.
100%. And just to kind of reiterate, go again, I think because of that well-rounded experience that we both have in the fitness industry, it's helped us provide a better experience, and it helps us get better results. For our client. Ultimately,
Probably the funny thing is you actually get better results online than possibly in person. Because I think there is more pressure as a coach.
There's more pressure
to deliver results because the program is based on results. Whereas in personal training or in person, like we say, people value just doing the exercise. So even if they're just not getting results, like they will still come back.
As a trainer, you're still doing
you're doing your job. So they value, I'm doing this hard workout, whatever, I'm doing it well. And then, kind of doing whatever I want after that. But they will still value just because they're just focused on the workout.
They just come to the workout, you're the trainer, you're there, then you're going up, okay, you're doing your job. But online coaching, there's a lot more pressure on you as a coach, which I think is important in a way.
Absolutely,
because we need to get you results. We need to get the clients results so much. because that's what it is all centered around.
Yeah.
It's all centered around us getting you there. And along the way, the beautiful thing I think as well is along the way, sure, you might have a weight loss goal or a physique goal or whatever it is. Along the way, you start to value more things.
Yeah.
The client along that journey, they will start to value the mindset coaching that they're receiving. They'll start to value, like you say, the habits that they're forming. At the beginning, it's very much like,
Well, yeah. I want to drop 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 40 pounds.
yeah,
And then it's so funny because that's the entry level, right? So everybody comes in with like this amount of weight that they want to lose. And then about halfway through, they realize, well, hopefully they realize that it isn't just about the weight anymore. You know, the weight is going to happen. That result is going to happen if you stick to the process. But ultimately understanding it's a long-term game, right? It's not just on or off. It's not like I'm going to lose 40 pounds and that's it. And then, you know, like a lot of people have done in the past where they probably lost a chunk of weight and then they just kind of, okay, I've made it, you know, and then just go back to old ways and the weight comes back. That's where it becomes more complicated in coaching because one, you want to get the result, but two, you're coaching them in a manner that it's sustainable and it sticks forever for life. So it's a hard task.
yeah, 100%. But it's one that we
The challenge that we love.
It's a challenge that we love for sure. Well, look, man, like let's jump into some of these questions because I think I hope the people are gonna get some value from these, and we're gonna be able to point some people in the right direction and answer a couple of thoughts that you might have on your mind.
So Sam, just before Nicola, so just talk me through. So what are these questions? What is this?
Yeah, we've got a few questions here. Again, from the conversations that we've had, again with hundreds, if not over 1,000 current clients that we've worked with.
I mean, even conversations in the EMs on our Instagram.
Conversations in the
Daily conversations we're having with these people.
calls that we've had with people, current clients. They like these questions and these things that Oscar and I are talking about. Then we don't just pluck them out of thin air, right? It's like you might be watching this and you might have some thoughts in your head, but we speak about this stuff
Daily,
literally every single day with people who might be in similar positions to you. So yeah, we have a pretty good idea of like some of the fears that people might have, some of the struggles that people might have. And as well, I think it's really important to understand like who we work with. Like the majority of the people we work with age probably 35 and beyond. That maybe even close to that 40 to
45, 50.
Most people, stressful jobs, not everyone, but families, kids, and yeah, struggling to kind of navigate the challenges that come with a demanding career, demanding lifestyle, kids, work, and struggle ultimately to get on top of their health. To get on top of their health and get on top of their physique. They can't look or they don't feel how they want to feel. So that's really who we've ended up working with for over the past 15 years. So that's that's really who these questions that's where these questions come from.
I think I just want to add to that, like there's probably there's two buckets, right? You have the people which maybe have always struggled with their weight or staying in shape, and they're looking to lose 30, 40, 50 plus pounds as a goal, and they've never achieved it. Maybe they've done many diets in the past, yo-yo dieting, in and out, kind of not really formed a habit, not consistently training, basically not doing anything. And then on the flip side of that, then we've got our other audience where, are over 40, 45, something like that, maybe have been fit in the past, were, bang into their fitness, then obviously career took over, kids took over, responsibilities happened, and they kind of lost themselves in there, and they kind of, got out of shape, and they've lost who they are in the process. And then when they try, they realize that what they're doing, what they used to do is either not sustainable or it's just not working, full stop.
100%. Yeah. Those are the two buckets for sure.
Let's have a look at these questions, shall we?
Get them up.
So, Sam, why do high achievers struggle so much with their health?
Yeah, I think there's obviously a couple of reasons. Rarely just one thing, but like I think the first thing is this is probably the most common. I think there's obviously a couple, but I think the most common is the illusion of time.
Yeah.
Right, I don't have enough time, and that can be split up into two different brackets. I think the first one is an excuse. I don't have time. It's an excuse, and that's linked with the other thing around priorities, right?
Yeah.
Because you're not prioritizing it.
Yeah.
You know, and people know that deep down. And that's the question, like, how do I prioritize it, which we'll talk about. But like, I think the first thing is an excuse, 100%, because you'll find time to prioritize other things.
Yeah.
Um, but then the second one, I think, and again, it's what I say, it's like the illusion of time, because people are busy. It's the people who we work with, like, yeah, crazy, stressful job, lots going on. Let's say you're working like 10, 12-hour days. You've got kids as well, whatever it is. It's like, yeah, you are busy. So that illusion of time, it's like, I don't have the time. And it refers to, I don't have the time to train. I don't have the time to do a workout. I don't have time to go to the gym, or even at home. I don't have time. And then it's also people, I think in their mind, they think that eating healthy takes up a lot of time. And I think that mostly comes from meal prep. People think they need to meal prep, right? So then if we break that down, it's like, okay, you don't have time. Right? Again, it's like someone who's, got a demanding career, totally like that's the point of the excuses, right? They're valid, right? It feels like a valid excuse. But and it kind of links with the fact that they they don't know what they don't know, right? So they don't know that you can do an incredibly efficient workout in 30 minutes just from home, potentially no equipment at all.
Yeah.
And it's all of a sudden where it's like, okay, cool, I didn't actually know that. And you don't need to train 5 or 6 times a week. You can do 2 or 3. Of course, you've got to get other things right as well, nutrition, sleep, hydration, etc. But now all of a sudden, it's gone from something that in your mind, maybe you thought, I need to train for an hour a day and it needs to do 5 times a week. Right? That's a lot. That is a lot. That's me and you and I don't do that.
No
right?
way.
Now all of a sudden, you've gone from that to, okay, 2 or 3 20 to 30-minute sessions that I can do in the garden or in the living room. It's completely different. It's completely different, and all of a sudden it's much more realistic and it's much more doable. And I think the same goes for food. It's like that illusion of kind of, oh, I need to meal prep on a Sunday. I need to spend 3 or 4 hours boiling everything and making sure everything's, whatever it is. It's like you don't need to do that. It takes the same amount of time to create a healthy meal than it does an unhealthy meal.
Yeah.
It's like it's that, and I think that illusion of time certainly is why a lot of high achievers struggle to kind of get over that barrier.
Yeah. Yeah. I see that. I think, I mean, it's probably one of our, I don't know if this is a question further down the line, but I think this ties quite nicely with the all or nothing mentality,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Because I think, like you just said there about, you don't have to do 5, you could do 2. And I think it's kind of like, I don't have the time, because in their mind, thinking that it's all or nothing, right? So I don't have I don't have time to go all in,
Mm.
to meaning I don't have time to do the 5 workouts a week. I don't have time to meal prep or whatever they believe you have to do. There's all these things in their head that is tied to kind of trying to be perfect in achieving a certain result, but it's not like that.
For
It's
sure.
not like that. So then you're stuck,
Mm.
because if you're all or nothing, it goes back to what I've said before, where it's on, off. So when you're off, what happens? You just get out of shape.
Mm.
And if that off button is off for a long period of time, months, years, then it gets harder to turn back on.
Yeah.
Whereas it should be just on a constant on,
Mm.
and just managing intensities and managing priorities.
Yeah.
Like,
That's it. Well, that's the other point. It's the priority thing.
yeah,
Right. And that's where time becomes an excuse. Because let's say you might be aware of those things. Because we get a lot of people come to us who might be aware of those things, right? But it's like all of a sudden you're going from where you actually think that you don't have the time, whereas actually it's like, oh, I don't have the time, I don't have the time. Then it's becoming an excuse.
yeah,
And then it's like, no, actually, you're just not prioritizing it because you're putting everything else first, right? You're putting your career first. Maybe you're answering emails in the evening when actually you really don't need to. Maybe you're just trying to make yourself feel busy, which we all do. I do that. It's like, it's very common in today's day and age.
giant volume.
Giant volume, exactly. and you're just not putting something actually first. It's like, no, actually, let me just get my workout done.
Yeah.
Right? Or actually, let me just go and do a healthy shop or whatever it is, make sure I got the food in. You're just not prioritizing it. And I think that's a massive thing, because in the modern world where obviously you're looking at everybody's lives, everybody can look at your life if you're on Instagram or whatever it is, and there's so much focus on status,
Yeah.
right? It's like, okay, this is how much money I make, this is how well I do. It's like, because of that, you want to do so well in your career. So all the priority goes there.
Mhm.
Whereas actually when people start to prioritize their health, you start to look after yourself, you feel better, you look better, that gives you more confidence, you're more productive anyway. You get better at your job anyway, but it's like it's learning to prioritize it, which I think a lot of high achievers find quite difficult.
Yeah. Yeah. So priorities are important. And then after that, I think it's learning how to systemize.
Mm,
We always talk about putting systems in place because, all right, so how do I prioritize my health? So we have to have some level of system so it becomes more natural and automated on a day-to-day life. The more responsibilities you have, the more important it is to systemize and structure your life in a way that you don't have to think about it as much. You don't have to dedicate so much time and thought on certain things if it becomes automatic, which that's where habit forming comes into place.
mm.
And understanding, review your day, review your week, and understand if you kind of do an audit of your day and your week, you'll realize how many missed opportunities
Mm.
are where you're losing time, or where you could use your time better for certain things. And then, like I say, systemizing. So it could be as simple as like having your list of ingredients, your standard ingredients that should always be in the fridge, no matter what. How do you do that? Well, make sure you have a food shop delivery with those exact same ingredients every Sunday, whatever day. But like, have these little systems
Mm.
to facilitate, to make your day to day easy, and you can focus on your kids a little bit more and work. But that whole systemizing, I think it's so important within your health, health and fitness, managing your family, and obviously within work. And having these things in place is what's going to help not being so overwhelmed with certain situations. And like I say, it'll just make things run smoother.
Definitely. I think the last thing I'd like to add to that question, why do I think that high achievers struggle so much with their health? I think that because you're a high achiever, because you do well in work, because you've got your family, you've got maybe a successful marriage, you've got great kids, whatever it is, it's like you feel as though you should be able to do it. You're like, come on, like I can do this. Yeah, any shake's not that hard.
Yeah.
It's just like move more and eat less, or just like be healthy. It's not that hard. So it's like because of that, you're people get in this cycle of they don't want to ask for help, or they feel they don't need to ask for help. Or they feel as though, yeah, like I say, they feel as though they know it all already. So why should I? I'm just not doing it. But I think again, going back to my first point, and again, this is what we see a lot of the conversations we have. It's like, no, you don't actually know. Unfortunately, it's like you don't know. And I think going back to your all or nothing points, yeah, they're all into say. It's like, no, you don't know how to do it sustainably. You don't know how to eat in a balanced way, which is going to help you lose weight gradually, or lose body fat gradually, so you can keep it off long term. Yeah. You don't know how to do efficient workouts that are still going to get result in a very short amount of time. You don't know that. What you do know how to do is you know how to be really strict with your food, halves, cut carbs, or eat tiny portions, or like never drink again, get a glass of wine, skip meals. And you know how to like train loads, like go to the gym like 5 times a day. It's like,
I'll start running,
yeah,
or I'll just go to gym class.
that is what you do know. And unfortunately, perhaps at this particular part of your life, like that's unrealistic. And that might be unrealistic for the next 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
So actually you don't know how to do it.
No,
And I think they can get caught in that cycle a lot. That's what we see.
definitely. Have you managed to answer that question?
But I hope so. I hope so. All right, cool. Right then, Oski.
Am I asking you another question?
Yeah.
Or, there's quite a few here.
Ask me number two. Ask me number
Number two, here we go. Well,